Yeah, there are a few things, Steve, that are actually happening right now as we see it. We're seeing the rise of digital workers. The software industry is actually creating digital software that acts like humans, and they're called digital workers. And these digital workers have the ability to replace and augment human workers. So that's point number one. Second is that the software vendors are on a collision course with the BPO vendors. Why? When the TAM, or the total addressable market size, increases beyond a certain size, the software players want to start disintermediating all the service providers. It's happened in different industries before. Our industry is not unique in this case. Now, when that disintermediation starts, you actually see a new creed of developers actually developing what we call as the citizen developers. And the citizen developers are business developers that are actually creating automations in a business environment. They're taking the help of regular developers, they're taking the help of IT developers, but they are a community on their own. And that's when the rise of the citizen developer takes place. Point number three, what we see is that we start seeing different ways of taming the beast, taming the $10 trillion back office processing industry, which is very, very large. And when you start looking at different ways of taming the beast, you start making technology easier to access. And when it becomes easier to access, what it does is it actually creates consumerization, and with gamification, it starts getting new economic models in place. And when that new economic models actually come together, you actually see a level of business disruption that has never ever been seen before. So that's the third thing. The fourth is that technology then moves into actually a new phase called as anyone, any place, any device. And we are now seeing actually developers starting to create software from clouds. They actually have a very, very thin client. They don't have any infrastructure issues, they don't have any application issues, and they can actually start accessing technology. So let's see what's happening. 1, consumerization. 2, personalization. 3, hyper-connected economy. 4th, newer business models. That actually starts to create something what we call as the virality effect inside of an enterprise. Let's look at the past technologies that have gone through this curve. The first one is, if you look at the airline industry, it took 64 years to actually get to 50 million users. If you look at the TV, it took 22 years. If you look at the internet, it took about 14 years to get to 50 million. That was a time when people were not sharing. It was not consumer-based. And when you actually started creating technology that was highly personalized, community-based sharing and gamified, like Pokemon Go, you reach 50 million users in about 19 days. Fortnite, you went to 50 million users in 7 days. So the impact that's being created by technology of this kind will bring a very different level of adoption and a very different level of virality inside of an enterprise. So these are the 4 or 5 changes that are going to completely disrupt the way we actually seek work and the way we actually end up performing work.